Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. With the holidays fast approaching, one wonders if the royal family will get together for Christmas. A friend of the new king and queen told the royalist, "It will be very strange for the family to be at Sandringham without the queen at Christmas. However, the past 2 years have been fairly strange because of COVID, so at this stage they are just hoping, like everybody else, that a big gathering can go ahead." "Does it include Harry and Meghan?" the source replied. "Obviously, his sons have a standing invitation, but the reality is that no one is expecting Harry and Meghan to fly over, given that his book is hanging over everything." A different source told the Mail on Sunday that Harry and Meghan were unlikely to attend. The friend told the Daily Beast they suspected that Prince Andrew would be encouraged to keep a low profile if he was invited. The Daily Beast added that Prince William and Kate are expected to be at Sandringham. With William now heir to the throne, the days of being able to duck out of the duties of the official royal Christmas and slip off to Kate's house are likely over for good. An added wrinkle, easily forgotten, is that Camilla has her own family, children Tom and Laura. They are not believed to be close to William. Christmas, although a palace source did confirm to the Daily Beast that the traditions and customs established by Elizabeth and her predecessors would be continued by Charles. These include presents being opened on Christmas Eve rather than Christmas Day, a Teutonic custom named Heiligebend Bescherung, begun by Prince Albert, the German habit of cutting off the top of a fir tree and bringing it into the house to be decorated. However, part of the custom of opening presents on Christmas Eve was to allow the day itself to be kept clear for the performance of royal and religious duties. The Queen often attended church twice on Christmas Day, for example, and while food and wine is, of course, served, lunch was a relatively brief affair, which began at 1 p.m. sharp and was finished by 2:45 to allow the Queen to retreat to her study and watch her speech broadcast annually by the BBC at 3 p.m. British time in private. Sandringham at Christmas is reputedly a rather serious day. It would be interesting to see if Charles and Camilla bring a more relaxed atmosphere to Christmas Day itself, or maintain the same intense focus on duty and God. Princess Diana famously found the day claustrophobic and would duck down to the kitchen to chat with the staff. We should also expect that the tradition of the televised Christmas Day message will continue under Charles. A royal commentator called on Prince Harry to walk away from his agreement with the streaming giant Netflix amid fury over The Crown. Dan Wooten called the current season an all-out assault on the credibility, reputation, heart and soul of the monarchy, and claimed that the royal drama manipulates the dark final days of Princess Diana. The commentator also criticized the callous portrayal of King Charles. Wooten even took it upon himself to write a resignation letter on Harry's behalf. So far, Harry is sticking with Netflix. Palace Intrigue will be right back. When you're a royal, you have to follow some strange rules. For example, no proposing without permission from the monarch. As outlined in the Royal Marriages Act of 1772, the most senior royals in the family require written permission from the monarch before they propose. This is followed by an official announcement of the engagement and usually a press briefing. And if you're not married, you cannot wear a tiara. The rule is that the first time you get to wear a tiara is at your wedding. You can also not wear fur, and this rule surprisingly goes way back to 1337, when King Edward III banned anyone, including royals, from wearing fur. Although it's still generally frowned upon, Queen Elizabeth occasionally broke the rule until 2019, when her stylist Angela Kelly confirmed that Elizabeth would only wear faux fur from that point on. You can also not eat shellfish or raw meat, presumably to avoid food poisoning. Although it's not strictly a royal law, it is strongly advised to avoid shellfish and raw meat when possible. King Charles, though, has been spotted enjoying oysters. And was Queen Elizabeth II an alien? Probably not, but InsideNova.com took a look at some of the stranger things inside the royal rumour mill. Anyway, don't worry about that, because King Charles might be a vampire. New Idea magazine once hinted that the then Prince Charles might be a vampire. In fact, the theory refers to his supposed kinship with Vlad the Impaler, who suffered from porphyria. Rumor aside, the truth is that the condition does not make one a vampire, but simply makes the skin more sensitive to the sun. Charles has confirmed that he is related to Vlad the Impaler, whom author Bram Stoker based his literary vampire Dracula on. So maybe he is a vampire. There's more to worry about, like, was Meghan's marriage to Harry part of a plot by the American government to meddle in British politics? No. Was Queen Elizabeth I actually a man? The fact that she had no offspring and that her behaviour did not conform to stereotypes has undoubtedly contributed to such rumours. Did Princess Margaret have a secret son with Robert Townsend? A man named Robert Brown claimed that he was the illegitimate son, according to an interview Brown gave to the Daily Telegraph. His birth was the result of an affair between the princess and her former boyfriend, RAF officer Peter Townsend, whom she never married. And as for the Queen being an alien, conspiracy theorist David Icke has claimed that the late British sovereign was an extraterrestrial lizard capable of modifying her appearance, who presumably gave birth to a vampire whose son became the victim of a covert operation by the US government to influence British politics. Makes sense. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalacintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite shows. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. It's Palace Intrigue and good times.